Good morning. As you know, Oregon has long been a leader in environmental-friendly innovation, whether that's how we manage our natural resources or the emerging clean energy infrastructure and manufacturing, or developing greener products like the cleaning products being developed by coastwide laboratories down in Wilsonville, Oregon. As the green chemistry industry continues to grow, I think it's very, very important that we support and cultivate this new innovation and business development, because I think we know that along with an overall toxic reduction strategy will be good for both the environment and for our economy. Minimizing the exposure to toxic chemicals of workers, of consumers, and of the environment does not mean we're stifling economic and scientific progress. In fact, I think the opposite is true. There are a whole lot of leading Oregon-grown businesses in industries such as footwear and apparel, high-tech wood products that are demonstrating that by developing cleaner, safer alternatives to toxic chemicals and processes, we can not only improve the bottom line, but we can also increase our competitiveness in the global economy. So this executive order is an effort to try to accelerate and increase support and really visibility for the whole field of green chemistry through a number of specific actions that the state can take to promote this, including goals that are aligned with our Department of Environmental Quality, the Department of Administrative Services, and business oriented. Certainly the state can help create a market through our own purchasing policies for these kinds of things. The executive order also encourages more collaboration between business, universities, colleges, entrepreneurs, and NGOs. And I think it's fair to say, particularly standing here at the University of Oregon, that our universities and colleges are a wealth of information and talent and expertise, and they can play a very significant role both in training the workforce for the new clean economy, but also fostering new commercial technologies and entrepreneurs in the green chemistry field. So by working together, all of these groups are going to help our businesses find more successful and profitable innovations that will help our state and our citizens now and in the future. And I also think that by developing the next generation of green materials, we can continue to lead the world and can continue to support the health and the well-being and the quality of life of Oregonians. So it's just great to be here today. We have three other speakers. First, we're going to bring up Representative Tobias Reed, who's the real champion of this in the legislature. Following Tobias, we'll have Andrea Durbin from the Area Environmental Council, and then Professor Jim Hutchison from the University of Oregon, who's at ground level on these things.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning, everyone. I'm really excited to be here because of the talent that is assembled in this room and the enormous potential this executive order has. I introduced some legislation in the 2012 session that had some similar content, and while I'm disappointed we weren't able to pass it, I am proud and happy that I think that legislation has played a role in the conversation that continues here today. I recognize that it's a long effort that has preceded my little modest bill, but we're here today to celebrate a very significant development, and it's something we can all be proud of. My interest in this topic stems at least in part from a conversation I had with a college friend. Lonnie Knabe and I went to Willamette together, and we both work at Nike. Lonnie's work centers on making Nike more competitive, and he told me about his work in helping create some cleaning products that Nike uses and that avoided some really nasty ingredients. Those products were created by Nike's vendors because Lonnie and Nike asked, and it resulted in a much better outcome for Nike's employees, for its profitability, and for the planet. So Lonnie isn't here today, but I want to give him some special acknowledgement and thanks both for that work and, at least in part, for what I think this executive order will make possible. And thank you to you, Governor. I think with your leadership, we are poised to continue our work facilitating the kinds of jobs that will sustain and support the environment, build on our reputation for innovation, and increase our capacity to create a long-run future of which we can all be proud. Congratulations to everyone here, and let's get to work.
Good morning. Oregon Environmental Council is proud to be part of this collaborative executive order process. We really want to extend our appreciation and thanks to the leadership of the Governor, to many of the companies that have been part of this dialogue. Many of you are in the room today, to Representative Reed and other legislators who've been real supporters as well, and to many of the state agencies, Department of Quality, Department of Administrative Services, and Business Oregon. And we wouldn't be here today without that collaborative process. Green chemistry is a priority for Oregon Environmental Council because it completes the picture. We work on reducing toxics that harm human health and the environment. But what if we could actually avoid these harmful chemicals in the first place? That is really what green chemistry is about. It's about avoiding and preventing the use of these chemicals through design and manufacturing process. It's really the solution. And so a couple years ago, OEC convened a multi-stakeholder process where we looked at green chemistry. We looked at what needs to change in the state of Oregon to help companies in the manufacturing industry really integrate green chemistry practices into their processes. And we've hosted several business education events as well. And so we're really excited to see the culmination of that effort to today and with the signing of the executive order. And the executive order really puts Oregon on an important path to innovate and assist companies in incorporating green chemistry practices and reduce toxics that harm human health and the environment, specifically in three ways. First, it will have Business Oregon evaluate both the barriers and opportunities to encourage companies to adopt green chemistry practices. Second, it looks at state procurement standards and will update them to include purchasing least toxic products and promotes more disclosure of chemical ingredients and products. And third, Department of Environmental Quality will work collaboratively with other state agencies to reduce toxic chemicals that they use. So Oregon really is only one of a handful of states nationally that's really looking at green chemistry and the opportunities presented to the health of our economy and health of our environment. And so we really are very excited and encouraged by the leadership in this room and by what's ahead. So thank you very much.
It's a great day for green chemistry, a great day for Oregon. I want to thank the governor for his leadership in bringing us to this point. I'd like to thank Representative Reed for all of his leadership and innovation, and particularly thank OEC for championing this process. So it's really fantastic. What's great about this day is the opportunity to tap such a broad range of expertise within the state. I think people in this room may understand how deep the talent pool is, but broadly, I'm not sure it's so well understood. And I'm really excited we're going to finally get a chance to unleash that green chemistry power. As Andrea said, a handful of states have tried to do this, but Oregon's really different. And I think the first reason that this executive order is different is because it's about innovation, and many of the other executive orders haven't really focused on innovation. We're great at innovation here. We have the signature research centers. I think this is going to be an outstanding opportunity to show what we can do. But the other thing that's really interesting and important about this executive order is every other state has used the executive order to jumpstart an effort. We already have been working on this stuff for over 15 years. And so we have a very deep pool, great companies you've already heard mentioned, but Nike, Coastwide, Blunt Industries, Columbia Forest Products, a whole range of industries where are leaders already in green chemistry. And then in the academic side, we've created the very first green chemistry education program in the world. We've now used that as a national model with over 300 universities nationwide using that curriculum, and have touched the lives of 100,000 plus students through this process. So the education part, as the governor pointed out, is a big part of that. But in addition to that, we have leading research efforts in the nation in green chemistry, in the Safer Nanomaterials and Manufacturing Initiative and the Center for Sustainable Materials Chemistry. Collectively, these two efforts are over $100 million in research that comes to the state of Oregon. And these place us on the map as the research center of green chemistry, probably not only in the nation, but in the world. So we have deep resources to tap. as we go forward. And those resources are ready to help make this executive order everything it can be. I think one last example of how impactful this can be is the executive order seeks to bring together not only the research, not only the education, but the whole innovation pipeline. One of the things that the universities are doing right now is called the Green Product Design Network, which brings together not only the green chemistry, but also communications, marketing, product design to try to drive green chemistry into the market. And one example that relates to the executive order is a project on greener cleaning products. If you want to find out more, there's a whole bunch of information on the back table about these kinds of things. So I think the key points here is that this executive order is really innovative. It's going to make a big difference. We have the deepest talent pool around to make it happen, and we're ready to help. Thank you.